kia ora tātou whānau, tuatahi John, tēnā koe te tāmai tēnei rā, tēnei hui, ni ki rā hui whakahira mō tātou mō te whānau. Ki te mihi nui kia koe, me ki rā kia koe tō whānau, meri ki me na mihi o te tauhau. Tēnā koe hara mai te kororo kia mātou, nā reira ka mihi atu kia koe. Mako tuku kareke mā tātou, ka tuku nā kia koe John. Inoi tātou. E o tamata mate ni te rangi pā, tēnei mate te whānau ko tāmei mui a koe, nā haura tēnei ate, tēnei mate tuku whakamoimiti, whakapetene kia koe mō manaki tanga ui me kuirungi a mātou, mai te tīmatanga tēnei rā tānuki tōna mutanga tēnei hui. Pā tēnei tīnoi kia koe, koe tēnei mui a mātou, te nā rute tēnei hui o mātou, manaki a mātou, api a mātou, rute nā kaupapa ki mui a mātou, nā kororo ki mui a mātou. Me te mihi tunu kia tamata urangatira, kia John ko tāmai tēnei wā te tuku kororo, whainga tōki mō mata a mō te hapu o tēnei wā o Rangitukia. Pā tēnei tino kia koe, tō wairo tapu e manaki a mātou nā wā katoa, roto tēnei krime te tānua ki te tauhau. Tēnei ki tamata ine mui a koe, I kaitu ki tamata kai whakaora. Āmini. Kia ora tātou whānau. John, pass it over to you to do our presentation. We're looking forward to those words of Putea. Oh, we love to see all those Putea around the table. So, pass it on to you, John.
Kia ora, kia ora. Thank you, Tamati, for the invite. I won't talk about it because I'll leave that to you. And for our viewers watching around the world, especially in England, Taylor, and the people waiting for us there, this is where it is happening here on the land between ourselves and Britain, our partner Britain, not the Crown, Britain government, UK. So I just want to outline today to our hapu and our whanau here in Rangitukia, the eastern part of the North Island, New Zealand, that you see on Facebook, a lot of information of where we're going to from here on, now that there's a change in the monarchy in Britain. It does affect everything in Australia, with the Victoria state government creating the way the economy is there and the land from the 1830s onwards. To now here in New Zealand, the titles came from there to here, to where we are with the British title still intact with King William IV, which we are expressing now. We won't be talking about that today, but we're certainly here for the financial side of what he set up for us in commerce, in a legal binding contract that we are expressing here with the administration that we're setting up to link with me in Britain. I'm going to Devonport with Matt Taylor and them to put the King's bench together, the High Court of Admiralty, which started all these mortgages around the world, and link that to us here as his partner in the Bank of England, Acts of Parliament in this book. You'll see online. You can find everything there happening here today. First time to link up again from our other huis in the past. I've had here with Ben Kahaki, and it only took till now. It was only going to happen now, today, when the Queen abandoned Westminster for EU Parliament. So, a new ball game, and Tamati and them want to Noah and Tangaroa, my mate Tangaroa, Roland, and Rabana, they're the good guys, Noah, and myself. So the others are not here yet, but certainly they can walk in and catch up to speed. But we're here today for the funding, mainly on how we're going to change the landscape, to make ourselves self-sufficient of what this in this book is about, how we should have been at that time. We are just about to do now. First of all, I want to thank them for inviting me here, and by chance that we had a reunion with the whanau and Makere. That's the father of the parents of Mataru Whanau, at least on our side of the family, at Rangitukia Marae and Tiararoa. That's tomorrow for 4 days, so I'll go there after that. And but they're not up to speed with this. We're going international here on a high level of trade and development of these land blocks, and especially the sea. Tidal energy projects is quite something with Scotland, Pentland and Firth. So those people up in Scotland, and Alex Aaron, last First Prime Minister of Scotland, who were watching this video. They've been watching me in the videos that we had right up to now, and the new Prime Minister, First Prime Minister of Scotland, watching us as well, Nicola Sturgeon. And she's a very good Prime Minister. I'm hoping that she'll come to Devonport and link this up to here. So I'm going to Devonport, and hopefully they will come there with Matt Taylor. So that will financially set us up as a central bank in England to counter the Bank of England that's corrupted by the Rothschild and the King George family. So I'm there for a big reason, right through the world, but mainly here with our people. They're called Maoris, and they still call savages from the old days. That's about to change. They're not savages, they're really clever people here. And we're just about to put the plan in place with this financial bit. Now, because they're passionate about money, where it comes from, not sending their money either. So we've got pound notes in the back of this book that we've created to put value up against it in countering the pound note in Britain. Belong to the Rothschilds and the Queen. The Queen actually owns America and owns a lot of land around the world, including New Zealand, illegally, that we're going to seize back from the Queen Crown, back into the King's Crown and the King's royal revenue that she was collecting in the first place. So we're just owned up as the King of England. That's my title that I'm taking. They said I was going to be the King of England, so that's on paper. That's commercially how it's supposed to happen here, that he's left things for us as his commercial partner. So on the money side, how we're going to do it is this. I'm going back to Auckland to seize 61 Cook Street. Land no different to these lands, because the titles to Auckland come down and stretch down to Gisborne. Is these ones, these old titles that are put together by John Rogan in Auckland for these titles here we're talking about here. Is the same as Cook Street. So it's no different. The Rogans married into the whanau's, the Ōrāti whanau, in this line we're going to tomorrow. I'll be explaining it there with them if they're so care to listen. So the Rogan is English, makes me English in bloodline to go there and speak English from their family, as being the Manukau, Mariah Manukau married John Rogan, this John Rogan in here. That's why I've got the Auckland titles to turn into cashable money, currency. That's what I want to explain, why titles, why Scottish, like Scottish titles these are. And so I'm getting the Scottish people to come together with us to claim what is theirs.
It's cooked.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Joy. Hi Joy.
Hi.
We're just talking about you now.
Oh,
She's
thanks.
cooked. She's cooked. That's good. That makes
Hope it's all good, Noah.
Yeah. So anyway, as far as the monarchy goes, we are sticking with the British line of the government is our partner, not the Crown. The Crown has nothing to do with us. We are the British government to authenticate and to administer our own lands as it was then, as it is now. So for the iwi, they are on the Queen's side. There's the Queen and there's the King. Right? So John Key is a debtor. He's a levy debtor against everything they've amassed illegally as being fraudulent. And so all we had to do is prove one fraud case up in Auckland to make it all the same. Fraud title of value of what they've taken to balance the books. So all we're doing is creating money, not out of thin air, but from a fraud case. We have private prosecutors to check the titles to make sure it's not a fraud title. We don't have to go and take the whole lot of them, we take one at a time. And so, with this King William authority now, I'll go there to put the pound note up against the Rothschilds pound note. The Rothschilds have bought the Bank of England and they only use their own pound note, and Scotland's got pound note. They can't get their pound note into the Bank of England because the Rothschilds won't let them. But this way, with King William's flag, yes, they can take it around the world. So we'll take our pound note around the world through 250 countries. You'll see on our Facebook site and our website. All it's doing for us is it's making us do trade with any country with that pound note that can be converted in the ANZ Bank in Auckland at the moment. You've seen the videos on my spy watch that I've been taking of the lawyer QC, Utai Choi, QC for Queen's Bench. Okay, so he knows I'm a King's Bench in his court. So we set up the King's Bench here on these marae. We're going to reinstate the marae and get it as part of the plan. The first thing of authority is the marae. So they have that here. Tamati and the executive we're going to put down on our paperwork today so that it's real from today. And this video is proof of that legacy. Okay, everything's legal. Everything's legal as far as the British law is concerned. Not the law in Wellington. That's Australia. Right? John Key is still running the country for us because the Maoris won't run it for themselves. So we're going to run it from Britain and let them run their own themselves and limit their power. We're going to limit what they can do by veto with membership as numbers. We need the numbers of people around the world with the same king's head and replacing the queen's head. So the queen is not going to feature on our economy and things what we want to do with the land. All we have to do is prove how we're going to develop our land with this money and control it fully ourselves. We are not going to be controlled by the government of Wellington, a government in exile of who they're governing from, the Queen in Brussels now. The Queen, you might as well say the Queen of Brussels, not the Queen of England, because technically and legally she has left England, soil land, for another soil land. So that's what I want to say about that. Legal side of monarchy is gone now, so I've stepped in as a monarch, native, Tahitian, and that's all that mattered was because I'm linking East Island, Raiatea Island, to us. Mokanui, here up on the land block to the Marangaro Marae, that was the old name, to the Marangaro land block. To Te Pito, that is a history to Rapa Nui. Okay, Rapa Nui, this is the name, Rapa Nui, that's a big shine, sunshine, and Moko Nui, big face. So those are real histories that we link to ourselves as Tahitian to these titles that the king signed Tahitian. Okay, so that satisfies Ngāpui, and they're us too, they're Tahitian, and the king signed with Tahitian. Ngāpui chiefs, they're Tainui, they're Ngāti Pro, they're still the same. We're just all the same brothers. And it didn't matter. We're putting the legal things together as representing them. We've got a mandate in here from the chiefs in Waitangi, and they said, go away, come back and show us what you've got when you come back from England. So we have their blessing. All we're going to do is countersign, redate today with their signatures to go and collect the money and the levy from the British government, the new British government, I must say, is the May elections next year, when Scotland will go out and come back in as leaving only England and Wales, as being Ireland gone out, and now Scotland will go out. Scotland will come back to lead England, lead Britain, UK, and we're going in there as Pacific, as a fifth partner. I'm going there as a fifth partner to the 4 states to make it a bigger UK government. We have to stick with them because I've already made mention that we bring the British military here on the riverbed to protect our business interests. That's what King William did in the first place. But that flag was to protect our business. Any threats against what we do, it applies. It applies to whatever we do on the land. The British are obligated to protect our business. That's our business, not anybody else's business. So I just wanted to mention things about money. It protects our money from the pound note is original. King William legislated the acts in here from 1830 to 1837 that he's the only king that legislated the pound note and the coins, mint the coins. We got the license to mint the coins and to print the money the way we want. So we just put our own faces on the pound note and took it to the bank, of the NZ Bank. They took this book. They actually received and deposited the book. Not the money yet, but as soon as the lawyer legalises the money to pay himself out of 10 million out of a 5 billion debtors levy against the fraud people that sold that land and didn't put our name on it, as they should have, under the British title. They put the Australian names on and didn't think we were going to come up with this. And so that was the mistake that they made. The other mistake was they sold the road, which was a Crown Road, and dumped all the investors in there and got rid of them. And then that's another offence. So these are the mischievous things that where we racked up the 5 billion in New Zealand dollars, converted it to 2.517800 billion pound notes of these new pound notes we're going to print and make the money ourselves. But that's just the money side. The other thing was that now the bank can buy those notes from us to develop whatever we want, and more than likely we'll end up owning the bank at that pace. If that was the case, then we have billion pound notes, trillion pound notes already online, ready and looking good. We're looking good, mate, with the money. He's interested in the money, so he has to look at the pound note and see it looks pretty. He's got a king on it, so that matters. But we're talking live as Surrogate King, the same way as the captain jumped off the ships, off His Majesty's ships, and proclaimed the land belonged to the king. I'm saying the same thing as a surrogate, the same way as the Captain William Cornwallis Simons got off the boat in Whanau Harbour and proclaimed that king owns the land, and then next year he mysteriously disappeared. They murdered him. But they took the title and changed it into the Australian title. These ones. You won't see this anywhere. They took it and converted it to Australian title, and so we're going back to that to seize it back. So that's all John Rogan did. He seized all the lands off the Australian title and reissued it. So that's what that is in this book. So all we're doing is correcting the history of how titles were put together as mortgages. So we're just going to make the money out of the mortgages, of the fraud part of the mortgage. So when it comes to where we are today, the bank will take the land, seize the land, the lawyer will seize the land, and he will pay himself out of that money and the pound notes, goes into the foreign currency account that we already got set up, and convert to New Zealand dollars on the 10 million, and he'll be paid out of paid in New Zealand dollars. So from that point on, it legalises another fraud case and another fraud case here, and model out from what we're doing up there, no different, from one land to the other. So it's easy to just go to another block of land here and do the same thing, because there's no contest. It's my word against yours. If you haven't got something better than that, then you've got a problem. So we won't touch anybody, we'll just make something work first. We're going to go on the open side of the shore here, on the no man's land, and put something there as being crown land. Right? Anything that's got crown on it, we'll jump on it and leave these ones alone, because the families can deal with that the way they want. There's no need to go and knock anybody around at this stage where we've got a beast on our hands that's going to go into the New World Order with John Key, the way they're going, then the Americans in here. So, like I said, the Queen owns America, and everything that's happening in the Admiralty law and Court Martial law, they shoot anybody on sight now, and that's this law. That we can hang anybody, that I'm telling them online, we can hang anybody that defies King William. Now that the stage is bare, with no Queen there in England. Okay? So we can apply any laws and acts in here, all the acts are here. At 1830 to 1837, we can use them. We can use them, legally use them, because we're still contract. We haven't started business yet, as such, under the Confederation. That's the thing Sue's trying to do. And it's too difficult for her to do because you've got this commerce on top, and you've got all these things that you need to be a jack of all trades. And so you just learn about our time and do what you're capable of, and I'll handle the other end in Britain. I'm going there to live permanent in Devonport, which is King William, where everybody left England. They came from there on the ship that was the biggest navy yard. They came from there legally to come here under this Admiralty. So I'm going back to the beginning and proclaim the thing back to the King and set up the court to try everybody, right, in England. They're welcoming it over there as being, oh, so that's where it was, over here. See? So they know the whole world is controlled from there. And they're hiding behind what was set up for us. We're supposed to be doing things great. Things great, but we were left to the last. We were left to the last because everybody is settled, okay? Except us. Except us. Now the treaty claims is another contract. These are all contracts. So we're just setting up a contract here between us and Britain. Direct. Direct. Not through the Crown, because the Crown is Rothschild. Everything Crown is Rothschild. Not the Queen, Rothschild. The crown on the Queen's head is her own illegal form of using her as an intermediary to make their documents look right, make them look right. So now they have me to worry about over there.
That's fraudulent.
Yeah. But they know that. They know that the ignorance of people will always vote them in Parliament. That's how they get away with it. So you cannot outvote them. You cannot go get a whole bunch of marriages, not enough of them. So what we're doing here is setting up a world community of like-minded people, right? Just ordinary people who join us in here to make this model work in front of everybody. So we're out in front of the whole world on Facebook, Twitter, Google and YouTube. And people are watching. They're asking questions when they say, how come John can say he's the King of England? And those fellows in England said, because we said so. And I said, I'll gladly accept. I'll gladly accept. I'll come there and be a king for a day or two, and then we'll straighten this out. Well, all we're going to do is balance the books. Balance the account of the trust, our Queen Victoria Trust. It was set up with this, King William. It was set up through the Confederation, and the Confederation is not up to speed with the commercial side of banks. They haven't learned enough about banks and how the funny money works, okay? So all we're doing is doing the banks. I'm going to be in charge of the bank, okay? I'm going to focus on the bank. I won't be telling you, do this, do this, do that. The engineers will be here that will do the project. Nick, we're going to do the platform on Rangitukia Bank. The big turbines going out there. But that's just another part of the economics of international trade.
Well, we need to go that way pretty well soon.
It has to.
It never. Now, how urgent it is.
Yeah.
We're looking at sort of Dynamo bringing in small business initiatives in the valley itself.
Yeah.
And then having to cohost with around 30 banks is a bit too out of range for us. But within our territorial Māori customary territorial right. That we have that right over there within the 200 kilometres.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in that zone.
Thirdly, yes, we do have interest in there because our whakapapa relates back around the Ranpuri Banks, including the land blocks itself, and the resources including. And this is where we're looking at, and prior to the one, excuse me for putting in like that, we were put in by Tom, I'm here anyway, John, but Tom had confirmed that and Joy confirmed with Joe, not with me. So I come in my own time. Okay, to see you that know that you're here next door ever. But I really like to send out an email thing out to you, where there's a lot of this business planning needs to be more privatised. I'm modest to say before it gets out of out of the journey. So I would like to talk to you, put additional your email, so that I can add this sort of proposals as what's coming up and keeping you in terms of updating what's happening here in action. Now, fourthly, my question is about concerns about our land blocks. Now, our land block, although it's been colonised by Mahirano in the 1993 Turipinio Act, now Tumaparo is now moving in to take on another thing. So that's RMA. The Pacific Kawanatanga now is moving in to take up our interests. Now, thirdly, fifthly, my fifth question is about our wairua. Now, the wairua is important for us when we set up small business like money farming. Money farming here is already on the board now. He's over there. You can see. I will smoke some later. The thing then have a tasting of it. And I can probably give you the rundown of how far away that is. And I have entered since Portaka hatcheries. That's the sixth question for Portaka hatcheries that we were setting up hatcheries so that we could no way to have to release to some sort of mandate from the company, from the organisation, to get us into get our lands prepared into reservation. Reservation is a lock-up type, so they're including all our interests and all our flora and fauna, which is the honey, the medicinal, the ronga, and including our fresh waters and saltwater marine habitats. We need to have to contact with your organisation to make sure that we are secured in that purpose, within that proposal. But the time will come, so it's been nice meeting you and everybody else, John. And then, that's it. Although I've heard what you said this morning, so I'm pretty well aware of the 1840 and 1835 Declaration of Independence was my interest was. And I do the Tino Rangatira as well as the Declaration of Independence, including the United Nations, have passed in the past of bring peace as a member.
So I want to respond to you before you're going to go, or you're going to stay and listen to the rest?
Well, I'm going to.
So okay, so I'll just respond to you that what we're doing here is not going to affect anybody, and I'm trying to keep it straight to Britain because there is a big shift in political things here. Is subjected to Victoria government in Australia that they could end everything from Britain. Britain, the way it's going, on their side of the Crown. The Crown is in two throws now to go to the New World Order in the EU. If we don't do anything, it's going straight into the EU.
I'm pretty aware of that, that huge amount of organisations coming out here, bullying in the hemisphere for our resources.
That's right.
Bullying. That's what they're doing.
So that's John Key. He set up, the main office is here for their business there. That's what I'm heading off. I'm going there to block them out, only with this King William thing, and how they got here. And it all goes back to Bruce authority, where did you get it from? And that's all I'm concerned about, is who are they to tell us how high to jump and what law. Now that they've got no queen, they have no authority. No authority in Wellington, but you can't just go and tell them get out of the way. We're going to leave them there to run the things they want, but get them. We're going to write out the pound note against them. That's what's happening right now. And that's how they will hurt. They're starting to hurt now by being knocked off one at a time by other people around the world doing the same thing.
Because I got access to Skype anyway, so I talk to other indigenous people around the globe. And then, John, and then our pathway forward is looking at Constitution. Now, the Takimona model is already written down there and it needs to be reenacted. Now, what this Constitution thinks is that we could be protected in opposition to the statute rules. Or however they move their goalposts. And they move their goalposts and what? It's not what else we can do.
That's right,
Okay? So the other thing is waste of time shooting them in the middle. You have to go around them either way.
Yes.
Now, which way is it that we're looking for? The Constitution plan that guides us in our way, that gives us direction.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it, the Constitution plan, including the 1835 Declaration of Independence, to bring it up forward.
Yeah.
Okay, and how it was that everybody had freedom of choice.
Yes.
Freedom to trade.
Yeah.
Buy, sell and trade, cash.
Yeah.
How we receive cash, that's our business.
Yeah, yeah, that's your business.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And you know, we're looking at that sort of thing. Sort of, we haven't got much here, but
yeah.
at least we can sort of come back on a recovery, on ecological recovery.
Yeah.
And build up, contract it out, charge the Crown.
Yeah.
More than $1 billion.
Yes. Yes.
So you're looking at billions, and so they need to be charged.
Yes.
And put it towards their face in front of them. This is charge. You've got to say, look at all this deforestation. They just come down there pouring a lot of rubbish, you know, they're declining and our fish stops.
Yeah.
That was one of my complaints.
Yes.
And one of my complaints about 25 years ago until I went to school.
Yeah.
And got this tohu. And now we're in water now. And you come up with this about 20 years now since we last trying to get this thing here going.
Right. That's right.
The dynamics of the fish farming and then the ecological recovery of this and the tourism over at the Haha there in Whanau D12.
Yes. Yes.
You see?
What happened then?
Whanau D12.
Yeah.
And you proposed the...
Oh, I see, yeah.
That idea.
Yes.
And then you have the support there.
Yes.
You know, the tūwhaka i roa kohi kohi tau.
Yes. Yes.
Kohi ngā tērā kohi, that was their support, including if registered.
Yes.
It had to be.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that was the sort of, I would have been worked out a better defence for us.
Yes.
You know, defence for us, and then put forward to negotiate.
Yes.
You know, put us on the negotiate position to whoever's going to invest.
Yes, 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 yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at this moment here, we're looking at the money, but not at this time. The money comes later.
Yes.
It'll come afterwards. Put it into action now. That we have these proposals there right in front of it, in front of your organisation, see where we come from there.
Yes.
And that's how I should think into the and then we get talk punai to punai.
Yeah.
And then after that, once we get it lock it up, then we can open it up to public.
So that's the way we are thinking. So what's happening at C12 block, the Marangaro C12 block? Anything happening there? I don't know. No.
I think Victor, I think, because I want to for this marine and fish sort of thing, I've got a diploma there. So next year, this is my last year for environmental thing for the Haha.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm going around there, itemising a few things over there, which is the wahatapu, the upas, and everything. But the flat still remains there, it still remains there, the wairua is still there, but no movement.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no movement at this time. We just put in direct satellite sort of thing, ding, 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 ding. So only him, he gets control of that place.
Okay. Okay.
Including the whole of the Haha. So this is a bit of worry there. He runs into the Runa on Ngāti Pro. He puts soft spot back there for his own private company, and then he's getting contracts from the Runa and that to do all these sort of things to go ahead and spar out.
Yes. Okay. So he's got control more or less of
well, he's the manager now. They want to bring this
something else.
Bring all these blocks that are amalgamated before. The ones that are unproductive, the SST, unproductive. Without the resources on it, I see that's unproductive.
Right.
Not when our Father in heaven had put that resources over there, and He created that, and they said that our ownership is unproductive.
Yes, 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 yes. So are you in support of Victor? What he
no. Shit, I do my own thing.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
This is who I'm really. I'm a trust member on the Rural Waipu Tribal Authority.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, trustees on things that have now resigned.
Yep.
This is too much bullshit.
Yep.
It's happening internal.
Yep.
You know that.
Yeah, I know.
And I had to stretch out outside, go to one of the school and get this tohu. So I can come around from behind, from the top down.
So it'll be easy for you to even mingle with us at any stage if we make any headway.
Direct negotiation to your organisation, that's how I want to talk.
That's the way. That's the way. Yeah. That'll be acceptable.
Yeah, well I didn't know what was the thing, if Tom would have come out and said to me front on, he said, bro, because I might just not talk about so
No, told Joy to tell you for us.
No, she went and told Joanne, not me.
Okay, so you're here anyway. I'm glad you're here to listen. At least you know where we are standing. And we are in support of you and anything you're doing that way. When we get something going, we will include whatever it is you want to do.
But that time will come. At this time, it's action before proposal. Because you need to have the proposal to show where you're going to count that food there. Hey, so you know, so there we go. I've got anything that you're interested in, have a look around the environment that's around here. I've got it all. I've got my thing over there, so you're welcome.
I make note of that because it certainly makes me more comfortable to hear from you on what your proposal, what you've been putting together, fits It fits.
First of all, is probably a 3-year plan on the short term, and another 3 year. They'll capitalize 6 years. That'll be a long term.
Yeah.
And the long term is that we should be getting some interest back in return, including your organisation for filling in what you got to offer.
Yeah. So which block are you going to station yourself on? So I know which one where it is. You yourself, like which block?
What's the station already in the block as a whole?
Which
Well, blocks, well, there's a block over there at the return at the haha there, which has got his fauna there, medical interest.
Yeah.
And then this one over here, this is the Rangitukia estate, this one here.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Rangitukia estate over here, it's got 3 factors of it.
Yeah.
One of D29 on one block over here, which is stretches out to the beach frontage.
Yeah, yeah.
And the shareholders exclusive territorial custody right of the 2,200 kilometres just from here. Now on the other side of that, we've got the Marangaro D29 is Haho. Now Haho has this 2 differences. Haho relates to whanau anybody. Okay. Now Marangaro D29 it's over here, including the mouth. Up to there, but it's from the white part up there. It's whanau Takimona.
Okay.
Now whanau Takimona is related to its constitution.
Now,
all I'm doing is just what is the organisation, to reenact that constitution so that we feel safe on it there, determining our small business operations.
I have put the Takimona Maori government on our documents. So it's set as a government anyway. I've got more going for that than what Sue was putting together.
Well, the Takimona is more interested because it's whakapapa related back in Tina Toka, and it goes right back, you know that. But the thing is, everything's come to a still now. We have computers and all other big companies now raping our resources already.
So where
now we got this is how important we want to speed things up. Okay, and just to start it out. And you got boats out there that are coming and taking our recreational interest. So you know, you get really frustrated. So what do you do? Throw stones around the bloody thing and it's trying to hit bloody trawler. They get pissed off.
So you take this back to your Takimona to tell them that I wanted to go on to Ranford, it's an airport, and I'm bringing in the military from Britain here to protect our interests. That was my first port of call, is to bring, because they're supposed to look after them, because there's too much big conglomerates hanging around to take over. And it was the better, the devil you know than the devil you don't. And they are here with us. Those people are here with us, but we still need them as a protectorate for our business.
If his time is to need it, the treaty of Waitaki wasn't even honoured anyway.
No, we don't worry about that.
So that one there was on the constitution. It was between 2 nations. Now, it must be that we felt comfortable and more certainty under that constitution. You know, because it's another way. There's the other one too, the company's tax. How is that related? You know, the company's tax. How is that related? I mean, to say this is claims now going through the Companies Act now to give them that mandate legally. See, and then, I'm not sure about that, but there's 2 close in hand together. Where you're going is our well, this is an expression of interest. My main interest is focusing on protecting our Paikaputan assets. Okay. Now the other thing is we need a stronger organisation, even established for the Takimona governments, established for the Takimona governments to protect that in order. There. And then is there anything else in further than that we're going to negotiate with your organisation prior that individual Takimona governance?
So that's what I say. The financial side of what I'm doing in England is going to enhance what we want to do here as being they owe it to us. Okay, I'm making them pay out. And so that's all I can do is to come here and express to Tamati, right, we're ready to move. Because it was only going to be now. When the Queen took off. The Queen took off, and so we carry on. Okay?
The buggers are pack thieves anyway.
Okay then, mate.
I'll catch up. Did you know my email address? And I just want to know your organisation. Your organisation, you got a card or something like that. John Working Kitchen, I can email you.
You do that. You keep in touch. Because I want you for us to think the same as us.
Well, you know, just making sure that the Takimona will be on path since it's reenacted. That's important.
But how's Jason?
No, I haven't seen him for quite a while. He's been out of order. And he
Okay.
said, like everybody else, they go rusty after a while, and when somebody like you pops up every now and again, when the rusty comes off.
Yeah, no, you're right. I know, I can understand you.
Yeah.
I can. That's the email in the phone.
Yeah. No, I'll get on to you. This is more directions. This is about developing our post offices. Because there's potential here.
Yeah.
And I've got all the reports, and I've got things on data.
Yep.
Database. I put things on database.
Yep.
And then I've got images there where you can have a look at there where it's more or less suitable for these places to go.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we can maybe later on we can have an incorporation meeting.
We'll have another meeting.
You know,
We'll have another meeting for that.
And have some maybe some penny available.
Yeah.
You know, for this sort of project.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so that's, we'll carry on with our hui. That was Nick Manu. Came here, and so I'm happy now with what he just said. That satisfies their organisation there, and they know what we're doing. That's the main thing. They know what we're doing. Meanwhile, we'll get back to what we were, where we were, and the film will be still running. So you've heard that. As part of the hui today was what was everybody else doing, and so he'll go back and relay that. But where our concern is the money, the bank and the money. So that's where we are going to dish the money. As soon as I get the bank and the lawyer sorted, when I get back on the 12th, he returns, 12th of December, 12th of January, sorry. Our lawyer comes back and he will finish off the transaction, and I'm expecting to transfer the money into the ANZ, and then from there I'll be going straight to England. I'll come here first and set something up here. The MOAI will be the first thing to go up as an authority. What we're basing our hui today is that it's immune from the government here, anything happening on a marae. So the marae, Reid marae, will be on our books as being the legal authority for this whole venture as being acceptable in the whanau, like Nick just came in and he's come from Taki Moana Maori government, so they can do their thing, but then again we'll come to that bridge when we come to it, because it's the money that's the problem, that nothing's going to go anywhere, and that's still locked up in the other system. Going to pull them out one by one, and he'll be easy enough for me to convert over from the radical side of things that it's hard to try and battle up on your own, where we're going straight to England to get the big shots behind us, and world audience at that. I'm going to ask you folks to ask me some questions afterwards, so everybody knows what we're going to, as soon as I finish this. So that's what's going to happen here. First of all, the bank will have the 10 million out of the 5 billion, and that's just one title. There's a whole stack of them after that my boys are going to be doing. They'll be in touch. There'll be Paul Breen, he's the land commissioner. They'll be looking after the land titles here. He'll be living down here with you guys, and between here and Lawton Point. So we're going to buy Lawton Point Motel, because that's been held up. I've been holding it off from being sold. So I'll go and purchase that and pay them with pound note. They'll get their money, and the Crown will pay for it. And we'll make them force the Crown to pay them for what they want, and settle it. So that'll be our base, main base, as the tourism side of industry to Auckland. So we've got a ferry, fast ferry here. We've got a fast ferry in Tahiti. I've got to get a 400 passenger one, but we're going to convert it to operate here and up to Lawton Point to Auckland. So, and this one here, this ferry here, is one I've designed that our mate, the engineer, will be building, right? We're going to build it in South Korea. We're going to buy a shipyard and the ship, the cargo ship, and all gear. So we're going to build this. It come up on land. Right? It's a big fast ferry that goes on land and goes straight in the rough. It goes straight under the water. Right? It can go straight off the beach, straight under the water, out, and run on hydrogen. So my mate Kevin Reis, he's the engineer. He'll be running the company. He's a diesel engineer, but he's a hydrogen. So he will look after all the engineering. He'll be down here, with you guys to keep you on track, but he will look after this, and I just provide the money to build anything, okay, anything, according to us, not what anybody else says. We're not going to listen to anybody, right? On the day we listen to ourselves, and those who are on the other end, who's listening to us and each other in our membership. Okay, we've got a big membership around the world, watching, ready to buy the shares. We haven't let the shares go yet, so you possibly buy shares only once, just once, £35 that, and the rest just rolls in. Okay, so we've got sources of income from fraud. That's one. The fraud prosecution is the biggest industry, and then the next one is the sea fisheries, deep sea fisheries, and also cargo to the port out in the middle, way away from everybody. So we can unload it there on the platform, and then the other ship can come there and pick them up. So we're going to set that up with South Korea. The government just signed a contract with South Korea, so we'll just take that off them. And they signed up with China, so we'll take that off them. Because we're buying all the Alibaba, we've got all the machines, and all the pound note machine and everything, from Alibaba, Chinese, directly. So we can do that from here. We're going to do that from here. So we can pull the strings on big companies with this sort of power. Okay? So nobody else has got something like that because they haven't done the research.
Is that the only one?
Yeah. You can get it online.
Oh, okay.
Just go on my site and take it off. It's got the pound notes in the back. So it's about 150 pages.
Sure.
And that's I've said, don't anybody try and use it, because it'll turn on you. And you'll end up with a bill. So even Facebook will not want to own it, because they say they're going to own everything on the 1st of January. I said, if you own this, you own the bill.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So they can publish it, because I had to make use of the free publishing.
That's right. They can
Right?
understand,
Free
yeah.
publishing. All the politicians, well, most politicians use it around the world, including Britain. So it's easy for me to drop the notice on their site, and everybody go and look at it. And they say, oh, John King. Oh, John King of England. But, you know, it's gone in the head. Right? They think, zap. You know, every now and then I throw it in there. Oh, John King. Oh, John King. So it's got in the mindset. They ask him, is he? And they say, no, the Queen's gone. So, you know, all good to him. So then we just get confidence. If this block goes, and we get it, guess what's going to happen? Everybody else wants to jump in.
Yeah.
Oh, he can do that, he can do what else can you?
Regional.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if one thing works, then the rest must. Yeah? So that's when we get the membership. We get the membership around the world, and on the text, on the mobile, right? They just text, oh, vote now, at 10 o'clock. All meet and vote. No? That's how you do it. That's how the Pope does that now. He said, I don't like text. And now he used the text to make his message just like that to all the members, 1.2, 1.3 billion people. So we're going to do the same thing.
Quick text.
Yeah, quick text. No, just say, listen at 10:30, because we're going to tell you something. Right? Yeah? If you want to raise $1 billion, you just send us a thing and say, can you have £1 each, please? You see? So that's how you do it. But we don't need to do that. We don't need to beg down to them to raise money. All we had to do is let them know they can use it to deposit and withdraw, right? Their shares, okay, from the spoils. So when I get the $5 billion, it's split amongst whoever shareholders there are. If there's only a few, well, they've got to claim it. And I say to everybody, oh, get in and claim it all. So that's the theme of the money side, is if that's true, then why not? Why not? Jump and put your name down and make a claim from anywhere. It could be an Indian, Chinese, whatever. It didn't matter. All it did was made them aware that this is a good deal to get in there. And if they come to New Zealand, it's going to be the same deal, the same pound, and they can convert it in the bank. You know. So when we go to the ANZ bank, guess what? They take it around the world through all the ANZ bank. You see? So they convert it. Don't want their little cut out of it, but the thing what I'm doing here is sell them the pound note. Sell them the pound note, and so they keep buying it at 2%. And there's some more money. There's some more money. You take £1 trillion and put 2% on it. What's that? 200 million. poof, like that. Right? There's some more money. So what do you do? But let another trillion to another government. And do it 250 times, because that's how many countries we're going in on the net. We've got the website set up in the shares for 250 countries. So if you gave them $1 trillion each, how much is that? And that's only on if he's a fraudster. If he's fraud. Yeah? Then this equals that. Not saying, oh, I'm going to put it against the gold. Where's your gold? They'll always say, where's it? We don't want any dishes of gold. But you say, we found a fraudster. Yeah. There he is. He owns all these mansions. He owns all these castles. Yeah. We're going, you go and get it. I'll give you a badge. I'll give you a badge. You go and get it. Guess what? The British military, if we get on and pay them the pound note, they'll make sure the sheriff is safe. Yeah, anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. You see? So that's what I wanted to say with this meeting today. Okay. And you fellows can ask questions afterwards, because I think that sort of wraps up the money side, and what we're going to do is put the MOAI up. Right? That's the first project. And establish title to this little piece of land. No, on the other one, this one. Don't worry about plugging off. And Nick, I didn't want to go into the C12 block because they've got their eye on it. And so keep right away. And we'll only do what we're capable of, talking like now. We've got nothing to lose, so we'll just say we'll stick over here. We've got our father here, that's it, we'll go from here today. The next meeting might be a different story, might be some things like here. You see? So that's about it, Taro. You can ask me questions now. and I'll gladly answer them.
The biggest question is the putia.
Putia, right, putia.
Yes.
Putia?
We're struggling.
People say putia. Okay, putia is money. Yeah, green stuff or yellow. But we've got colours. It's very interesting. I wish I had the pound note to show you. Oh, we've got one here, the pound note. Which one? There, with Desmond on it. Hang on, I'll try and get a big one. While you're talking, I'll look for a pound note. I'll look for a pound. I wish I would have put them in there, but never mind. Actually, while I'm talking, just wait, hold off there. Well, I'm going to sign some documents here, linking us up. I'll leave you a copy to.
That's the one, the mandate to go to England.
To go to England, and link up with Titi Marae, the chiefs up there. The mandate. It's the one that they signed. That your council signed on top, and I'll redate it as being linked with the authority come from there. The authority had to come from there. So they know I'm coming here to put the meeting together to give the authority to go to England to actually do this. So yeah, we're not going here to England by ourselves, because that's what Jason tried to do. And that's why I took him on a start.
Did you go to England?
Twice. You see, you see, it didn't eventuate because.
Then you got told to come back here.
They went on their own.
Yeah, they went on their own. Yeah, they went to the UN too.
As an individual.
Yeah, I know Henry went to the UN.
Yeah.
And Jason.
And Jason.
They went
to a lot of expense. If they took this, they would have been alright. But the thing was, they didn't go with all the little bits. That actually. That actually they will talk to. You still had to be corporate. We're corporate and we're the other side. So we're registered in the company's office here to build them, and then we're on the other side to actually build them again. Right? So you had to operate.
So the Queen refused to meet with them, mate.
John, I don't want to be too pushy, but have you got putia now? I mean,
no.
That's what
No. That's why I got an unregistered car. Because it's running around on the road with nothing.